There was another assassination attempt on the President of the United States of America. Some dude with a gun tried to break into Mar-a-Lago, and the Secret Service gunned him down. And to be honest, they're doing their jobs, and they're fucking American heroes. Oh, yeah, all right. So, this is Fox News. This is a retired FBI agent analyzing the alleged weapon and potential motives of the Mar-a-Lago shooting suspect. So let's see what's going down here, and then we'll cover Caroline Leavitt going crazy on the Democrats for it and blaming them.
Thomas, welcome to you.
But I mean, let's be honest here. If you can only call somebody Hitler so many times before people start trying to kill baby Hitler.
Good afternoon, Mike.
So what are your thoughts on the weapon that this suspect brought with him into Mar-a-Lago, the shotgun?
Are you surprised by that? I mean, let's be honest.
Mike, I'll tell you what, a shotgun, it's a relatively easy weapon to obtain. It's also a relatively easy weapon.
Okay, wait, let's start over. Hold on. They said something about a shotgun, I think.
So what are your thoughts on the weapon that this suspect brought with him into Mar-a-Lago, the shotgun?
Oh, a shotgun. Okay.
I'll tell you what, a shotgun, it's a relatively easy weapon to obtain. It's also a relatively easy weapon to learn how to shoot. You know, if you compare that to other weapons that have been used in similar incidents.
Yeah, this end points at that guy, and you know, you could probably hip fire it if you got a good grip.
In the past, like an AR-15, and that takes a little bit of a level of skill. Now, a shotgun, you know, it's a very diverse weapon. It's been around for God knows,
it's true. You barely even have to aim.
Over 100 years. You know, it could be used for duck hunting, deer hunting, but widely
home defense,
been used in law enforcement and military.
All enemies, foreign and domestic. You know, you understand.
It all depends on how the weapon's loaded, and I would suspect that this weapon was probably loaded with 00 buck. That's 9 pellets of 33 caliber pellets, and it's
look. The phone in question.
Easy.
Thank you, CNN, for your honest reporting.
When you shoot a shotgun, it's not precision shooting like an AR-15 M4 weapon. You could be a little off, and for every trigger pull, you know, you've got 9 pellets going down range that are 33 caliber. And, you know, just to make a comparison, we always hear about 9mm when we're talking about pistols. A 9mm is a .355.
Well, yes, but we know that Trump can dodge bullets, so he'd probably be okay. It's the Secret Service agents I'm worried about.
And this is a .33. So the size of it is not that much different. The weight of it, of course, is different. But for every trigger pull, you have 9 rounds going down range. And you don't have to be, as I mentioned, right on target. You could be off a little bit left or right and still get many of those pellets on your target. So it's very devastating.
That photo that law enforcement put out showing the weapon also showed a canister of gasoline. What do you make of the suspect bringing gasoline with him?
Well, we've learned in the last few years that gasoline can be a potent weapon, particularly against right-wingers and Jews. The problem is that it's being recognized as a weapon now, and so if you're carrying a can of gasoline, someone's probably going to end your life. Anyway.
Well, you know, of course we could speculate, you know, a lot of things, and God knows if we'll ever know. But I think one good possibility is that he was going to, if he could get on the grounds, he was going to start a fire. That would be a diversion. If the president was there, obviously the president would be moved. Obviously, you know, fire service would be called. And in the chaos of that, I would suspect that maybe this guy was planning to lay in wait, possibly for the president to be removed from Mar-a-Lago, and maybe act at that time.
I know you were a SWAT operator for more than 20 years. What do you make of the response by federal...
Absolutely justified and totally goated Secret Service agents. Thank you for doing your jobs, you absolute heroes.
Officers on the scene and also that sheriff's deputy.
I think it's credible. The sheriff's office and Secret Service on scene, and you can't ask for a better job than that. You know, I think when they contacted this guy, of course, I heard him.
I bet Dan Bongino is coming in his pants right now.
Mentioned earlier that it might be suicide by cop. I think that's a very good possibility. I think that maybe when he was contacted, he thought, well, this is it, and decided to maybe, just end it by doing that. But the immediacy of him.
I don't know. Suicide by cop is a thing, but also you have a shotgun that CNN's calling a odd-shaped cell phone case, and guy that just needed gas because his car was broken down.
Being contacted, that was pretty incredible, and the actions they took.
Obviously, Mar-a-Lago is a private club. It's also President Trump's home when he's in South Florida. It was not set up as a government building, a government installation. Would you expect federal authorities to put in some more security measures as a precaution after an incident like this?
Well, of course, the White House might,
No, it seemed like the security measures they had were pretty appropriate and worked. Why would they change it?
I think it's known worldwide. You're not going to get on the grounds of the White House, and I think that's maybe what this perpetrator was thinking as well. And I think maybe he thought he had a shot, of actually, going through with this.
You probably had a better shot at getting on the grounds of the White House. I don't know if you know this, but it's just a fence.
Going through with, doing something bad here. As we see on, as I see on Fox, as the public sees, you're covering the White House on a Friday evening, and the president's walking out to, Marine One, and then arriving at Andrews and getting on Air Force One. He routinely goes to Mar-a-Lago on the weekend. If this guy was traveling, Thursday, Friday to Mar-a-Lago, he might not have been kept up on the news and just assumed that the president was in residence at Mar-a-Lago. And I suspect that's why he chose to make this play, early this Saturday morning.
We will follow the facts as we get them. Thomas McNulty, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, we will definitely follow the facts as we get them. One of the facts that we know is that it definitely was not a cell phone. So if CNN was saying that, then they're just wildly out of line. Anyway, so like I said, Caroline Leavitt goes pretty crazy on them. Apparently, Caroline Leavitt has led the outrage at the Democratic Party for their spite for Donald Trump after a failed attempt at his life occurred in the early hours of Sunday morning. A 21-year-old man identified as Austin Tucker Martin from North Carolina broke through the perimeter of Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence armed with a shotgun. Following the ambush, which Republicans have described as a third assassination attempt, we're not describing it as that, that's just kind of objectively what it is. Leavitt blamed the Democrats who shut down the government last week, jeopardizing thousands of federal law enforcement officials. She wrote, quote, "In the middle of the night, whilst most Americans were asleep, the United States Secret Service acted quickly and decisively to neutralize a crazy person armed with a gun and a gas canister who intruded President Trump's home. Federal law enforcement are working 24/7 to keep our country safe and protect all Americans. It is shameful and reckless that Democrats have chosen to shut down their department." Florida Congressman Brian Mast told Fox News Sunday that he, quote, "absolutely believes that what occurred during the night was a third assassination attempt on President Trump's life." Look at Caroline Leavitt going crazy. Now that she's a mom, she's got bigger boobies. Anyway, this is Mar-a-Lago. This is their shotgun here, which is definitely not a cell phone at all. This is what she said. This is them talking about it. What do they have to say?
Do you believe this was, in fact, a third assassination attempt on our president?
Absolutely. If somebody is coming to the president,
it seems pretty cut and dry, right? He definitely stormed in to try and assassinate the president's
home with a firearm, with a gas can, with something incendiary or something explosive or anything else. You have to believe they have an intent to conduct an attack against the president of the United States of America, or his family, or his friends, or the ambassadors that might be there, or the cabinet secretaries that might be there. It could be a host of different targets because
I don't know. So I don't remember what I was watching, but they pointed out that whenever she came out to say that there are no Epstein files and that it was all a big Democrat hoax and we can all move on with our lives. I don't know if you noticed, but she was not wearing her cross that day. She's worn it every other day as far as I can tell, but that specific day she was not wearing it, and I found that was interesting.
This is a huge
Anyway, yeah, so they definitely tried to assassinate President Trump again for some reason. And Dude, I know the Democrats are going to be like, no, it might have been a Nux video that pointed that out, but somebody definitely pointed it out, and then I went to look at it and went, holy shit, they're right. All of the links for all of my things and all of the videos will be posted in my descriptions. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're watching the videos. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.